What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Intermittent Fasting. I've gone on the record so many times, so many damn times, saying that this is not a good diet. I believe that depriving yourself for a long period of time without food is a recipe for disaster. Starving in the morning and binging at night is unhealthy. And at the end of the day, I like a diet that you can adhere to for the rest of your life. Not just a diet that gets you to a point. You know, I don't want to be like, I want to lose 25 pounds. And then it's like, well, fuck, I lost 25 pounds. Now what? So I want a diet that can actually turn it into a lifestyle. Now, I did some research, and it was because this article came out, published in the American Heart Association Journal of Circulation, from Columbia University. So this wasn't from like a fucking community college, saying that meal timing and frequency are indicated in several health issues, including heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure, blood glucose levels, obesity, and reduced insulin sensitivity. Basically, what it found is that you are essentially more apt to have bad markers for that than someone who eats frequently, meaning they eat breakfast. So essentially the whole base of the study is eating breakfast leads to eating, not eating breakfast leads to eating unhealthy snacks, which leads to fat gain, which leads to death. Essentially, that's exactly what they're fucking saying. Unfortunately, with intermittent fasting diet, you're not snacking. You're just waiting until 3 p.m., if that's your eating window, till around 11 p.m., to get your food in. So I don't think that really pertains to intermittent fasting. And frankly, I don't like correlation studies like this, so they're bullshit. So I read up on intermittent fasting. I had no idea. I'm going to claim ignorance. This stuff has some tremendous data for some tremendous health benefits, and I'm going to go into those right now. One is brain health. It increases the brain hormone, and it also, I'm not going to go into it, it's called BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and prevents brain damage due to strokes. The data is done on rats, so hey, you know what? Might not be worth that much, but it always starts with rat data. You might live longer. Fasted rats lived 83% longer than non-fasted rats. Enhanced metabolism, those studies were done in humans, found enhanced metabolism when fasting. Inflammation reduction, those studies were done on humans, and it can also be heart healthy, which has been found in studies. Now, what's not so good, and there's 3 things that come up with this, it's not that good for athletes, I'll explain why. Not the best for lean mass gains, I'll explain why. Creates a potential for eating disorders, and here's why. Basically, I feel anytime you're hungry and you deprive yourself, it creates a bad relationship, basically a deprivation and reward relationship, which I feel is detrimental to essentially your relationship with food. So my whole thing with eating issues and adherence is breakfast is a cultural thing. You get up, I eat breakfast with my family, sit down, wife and kids at the table. I have my laptop in front of me, but I'll shut it all the time and keep talking with them. You know, it's our thing. We get together in the morning, we talk about the day ahead. So it is cultural as well as nutritive. Now, eating frequent meals can help with a lot of things in athletes, including less lean mass loss when on a diet to lose fat. This study was done on boxers, so that's an athletic setting. Increase in muscle mass and anaerobic power, and increased fat loss. That's with eating meal frequency. You know, the 5 to 8 times a day thing. So our whole thing is for athletes, which might pertain to bodybuilders. Again, we're lacking data in bodybuilders because frankly, researchers are busy trying to find a cure for cancer and AIDS. Data on healthy young male bodybuilders usually doesn't get funding. And if someone like me funds it with a supplement, it's automatically biased because a supplement company funded it. That's not what happens, but I remember when I funded that study on BCA, it's because you funded it. I'm like, who else is gonna fund it? The friggin' funding fairy? So at the end of the day, I see that controlling insulin is very healthy. And the keto diet is something that does that as well. So the keto diet as well as intermittent fasting does that. Intermittent fasting might not be the best for adherence, neither will keto, because again, who wants to eat their eggs without toast for the rest of their life? Based on the current data, you know what? It's a toss-up of which one's the best. If you don't like breakfast, hey, intermittent fasting might be great for you because you're looking at basically, if you were to look at the schedule, you know, intermittent fasting, you'd be fasting from 11 p.m. to 3 p.m., which is basically you go to bed and then you don't eat till 3 p.m. And 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. is your feeding time, which I think a lot of people can work with. And I don't see anywhere where it says that you have to train in a fasted state. So if you have till 3 p.m., you can actually do it so your training is based around eating first. Now, one thing that I have, and I gotta say this, is I feel a good middle ground is a diet that it addresses insulin sensitivity and insulin control, a diet that lets you eat frequent meals, a diet that also, as we didn't go into before, the reason I think nutrient meals, eating frequent meals is great is because it allows you to have calories and carbohydrate and protein around that workout window. I do believe that's beneficial in recovery. And hey, data is data. That data was done in humans. And all these references can be found online. I have an article. It is called, Is Intermittent Fasting a Deadly Decision? Okay, that'll be the first link down below. The next link will be for my Drop Factor book. Drop Factor Transformation Edition is my book. It's for sale. If it's not for sale now, sign up for the email list. It should be up right now. The reason I love my diet is because it controls insulin throughout the day, but it centers carbs post-workout and before bed. The reason I love it post-workout is obviously for recovery, because, basically you recover half as fast when you wait anything longer than even 20 minutes. I'm not saying you need it for gains. I'm saying that if you're optimal and you're looking to optimize your carbohydrate intake, also carbs might make people sleepy, and controlling insulin is a healthy thing to do. So we center our carbs around post-workout and before bed. Why before bed? Well, it replenishes what you burnt during the day. Those carbs will last you throughout the morning hours without affecting your insulin up and down, because your pancreas has to work to digest those. Also increases serotonin levels, so you will sleep and relax better. So I'm a big fan of those two windows. So again, it's dropfactorbook.com, and that will be for sale. If it's not for sale now, it will be for sale very shortly. So go ahead and look at that. It's based on years of my research, of me coaching thousands of people, and of me trying it on myself. I've been doing this diet and I've been hinting at this for a long time here, and it's finally out and ready to go. So the take home is there's no perfect diet. Intermittent fasting is just about the healthiest diet I've ever seen. Seriously, from the data. It truly is. If you're looking at overall health and wellness, I believe that, as well as the keto diet. And for what I'm reading, even the vegan diet, vegans have tremendous health markers. Now, where those fall short is as an athlete or as someone looking to optimize their lean mass gains. If you're looking to optimize your lean mass gains, I don't think keto is the best. I don't think intermittent fasting is the best, but they both will work for those. To optimize lean mass gains, I believe in a diet where you control insulin throughout the day, or fat loss where you're also accounting for lean mass gains. Intermittent fasting, phenomenal for body mass overall. I don't think it's optimal. I think it's amazing for health. Keto as well. The vegan diet, I believe, lacks certain elements of protein. It's hard to get enough protein to make that work. But a vegan diet, if you adhere and you get a gram per pound of body weight of protein, I see no reason why it can't be a muscle building diet. You're just basically choosing different food sources. There's no reason why a vegan diet can't work for you. And as far as my diet, the Drop Factor diet, the reason I believe that works is you can even make my Drop Factor book work for vegans. Just substitute the animal foods for meat-based protein source, for veggie-based protein sources, plant-based protein sources. So there's definitely a way you can make that work. But essentially, the key take-home is control your insulin throughout the day, whether that's through fasting, keto, or something like the Drop Factor diet. And as a vegan, you can do the same. There's plenty of healthy vegan fat sources, plenty of healthy vegan protein sources. Carbohydrate around training. Vegans can absolutely do this. Keto, not so much. Intermittent fasting, absolutely. You can have your nutrients around training. And frequent meals, absolutely. And my diet, of course, it's built around that. So guys, the links are below, the article, the book, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching. At the end of the day, I don't like intermittent fasting mainly because of psychological reasons. But if you get around that, it's a lifestyle you enjoy. You can make it a lifestyle. It's very healthy. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because finding the diet that works right for you, makes you feel the best, that's the way to go. And that's not a game.